And then the main thing that they keep talking about, subhanAllah, night and day. He claims that, well, you can see from what's happening in the world. Muhammad taught Muslims violence against non-Muslims. And as a matter of fact, there's a debate between me and the author on TV that you can see it on my YouTube channel, Imam Mustafa Zaid, about the subject. And alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we did very well in that debate. So I basically asked him, show me in the debate even, and I said it in the book, show me one verse, show me one hadith that Prophet Muhammad said, you know what, if you see a Christian, if you see a Jew, if you see a non-Muslim, it's an obligation upon you to go and hurt him and be violent against him. And as a matter of fact, because of these allegations, I started my book with the subhanallah, the most civil verse and meaning and conduct in the history of mankind about people dealing with minorities or people that are different than they are in religion. لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forbid you about dealing with people أن تبروهم وتقسطوا إليهم, to deal with people righteously and be so fair with them. In any case, you like him, you don't like him, they're different than you don't approve of what they're doing, whatever it is, you always be fair and just. Till it reaches the tragic event of them either fighting you for your religion or taking you out of your home. Anything less than that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, I did not order you not to be just and fair to these people, you have to be just and fair. Is that enough? No, Allah. Look at the next verse. What happened now if they took me out of my home and fought me for my religion? إنما ينهاكم الله عن الذين قاتلوكم في الدين وأخرجوكم من دياركم وظاهروا على إخراجكم. Now those are the people who fought me for my religion, took me from my home and helped and aided other people to do that to me. What should I do to them? Go ahead and kill him? Whenever I find him, I just go ahead and kill him? No. The punishment, what you should do is أَلَّا أَن تَوَلَّوْهُمْ, to take him as allies. So if I know that France, for example, is helping the Israelis due to the Palestinians what they're doing, as a nation, as people, we cannot be allies with France. Because they're fighting Muslims for their deen and they take them out of their homes, if that's the case. And it does not even say take them out of their own homes or fighting for their own religion. This is in the middle of the 7th century. You need to read history and read the context of what people did to each other 500 years after that, in the Dark Ages. There is no such a thing as you have a different religion than my religion if I'm the king. All the Christians and Jews that you found in the Arab Peninsula, you think because they liked it? It's a very harsh desert. Why were they there? Most of the Jews were there because in their books they were told, and we'll get back to the book, that the last prophet will come and he will be in Medina. And that's why most of the rabbis and the Jews were there at Medina. That's number one. For the Christians, they were escaping the prosecution in the entire Sham area. I live and the king is an Orthodox Christian. And then he changed his faith. Or somebody killed him and that person who killed him of another faith. As soon as he comes in, whether I change my faith or I'm going to be treated like a traitor, they're going to come and take my property and kill me. So, whether I change my religion or I have to run away. And the closest place to run away where people would not chase him is the harsh desert of the Arab Peninsula. Comes Prophet Muhammad and the Quran in the middle of 7th century. I am obligated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be just and fair and righteous with you no matter what. Not only that, في سورة المائدة ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. Even if people are unfair, unjust and mean to you, never use that as an excuse to deal with them the same way. You have to be fair and just. You have to represent your deen, not represent their deen, even though they started. Do you hear that anywhere? Does the Islamophobes or you hear that on Fox News? Nobody says that. When it comes to war, we have rules of war in Islam. We don't fight just to fight. In all the verses that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked us to fight people, it's either that they're about to attack us and it's an imminent threat, or they attacked us already first. First, you go to Surah An-Nisa, and it's verse number 84. فَقَاتِلْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ لَا تُكَلَّفُ إِلَّا نَفْسَكَ وَحَرِّضِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ عَسَى اللَّهُ أَنْ يَكُفَّ بَأْسَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَاللَّهُ أَشَدُّ بَأْسًا وَأَشَدُّ تَنْكِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'm asking you to fight for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are tasked to do that. And persuade the believers to do the same thing. Why? The reason is that you stop the might and the hurt and the damage and the oppressions that the kuffar are doing. It's not because they're different than me in religion that I go and fight them. No, they're already fighting me. And they're already applying ba's oppression upon me. So we go fight them. So they attack us first, they oppress us first, and then we are fighting for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أشد بأسا وأشد تنكيلا. في سورة البقرة وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Look at the greatness of this verse. وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Fight only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does that mean? You don't fight for glory. You don't fight for a purple medal. You don't fight for people to say, oh, he's courageous, or he's powerful, or I killed many of the enemies, look, I'm a hero. You fight only to satisfy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a situation where you're obligated to fight. What is that situation? What is that condition? It has to be only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ. Those who are fighting you. Somebody came and fought you. Not only that you fight back, which is the same thing that any army, any human being in the world would do, but even when you do it, you don't do it for vengeance or for vanity or for whatever it is. You do it only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Could it be more simpler than that? These are the rules of engagement in Islam? No, it doesn't stop here. وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. And do not transgress. So they came and attacked me once. So I attacked them back once and it's level. Do not exceed. وَاعْتَدُوا عَلَيْهِمْ بِمِثْلِ مَا اعْتَدَوْا عَلَيْهِمْ. Retaliate as much as you were attacked. Nothing more. So I don't take the excuse of someone attacking me, oh, they attack me first, you see, and I go and subhanAllah wreak havoc on earth. No. Fairly and justly. And then in the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, لا تقتلوا امرأة ولا وليدا. Do not burn trees, do not kill women, do not kill children. One time Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a battle seen a woman hit with an arrow. He stopped the battle and brought the companion and he said, ما إنها ما كانت تقاتل. This woman was not fighting. Why is she hit with an arrow? Obviously it was a stray arrow. As long as you're not fighting, even if you're a strong-built person, and you look like you could be the general of the army that we're fighting, but you're not carrying arms, you're not actually fighting, you're not to be touched, you're a civilian. Women and children the same way. You do not burn down trees, you do not burn down buildings. There's no such a thing in Islam as collateral damage. I want you to go on Google and Google the word collateral damage. What does that mean? Oh, we're at war? Then there are things that are out of the world. If we kill 100 people additional here or there, or civilian casualties, or burn down buildings or farms, well, it's war. Sorry. There's no such a thing in Islam. Ever. In the middle of 7th century. Then they talk about, and we spoke about it last time, the 3 conditions. Oh, Islam, comes, and if you don't become a Muslim and don't agree with them, then they're going to go and kill you. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ would go and offer peace. You become a Muslim, you become like me, you have the same rights and obligations like me. Absolute equality. If you don't want to accept Islam, you have the right to worship whatever that you want to worship. But if you live with the Muslims, you would have to pay that tax like the Muslims pay tax. Unheard of. It's in the Quran, in Surah Al-Kahf. وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا. مفيش حد حافظ ولا ايه؟ Whoever want to be a believer would go ahead and be a believer. And whoever would not want to be a believer would not be a believer. We have prepared for the oppressors the worst of torment anyway. It's right there in the Quran. And then the last option, if you don't want to become a Muslim, and if you don't want to keep your religion and pay taxes less than what you're obligated to pay to the Romans or the Persians, then your intention is to fight us. There's no diplomacy, there's no borders, there's no forts. So, stopping the fact that you come attacking me at night and I would have to defend myself against you. No, I'm standing before you, man to man, soldier to shoulder. And if that's your choice, let's do it right here in broad daylight, like men do. And most of the battles of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, as we said before, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was outnumbered. So that choice of going to battle, objectively, probably the Muslims would have been annihilated. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted victories for the Muslim because they were doing the right thing and applying the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.